Okay, pretty big week. We're off the back of SummerSlam, so where do we go from here on Monday Night Raw and Friday Night Smackdown? Let's find out. Everywhere I go, there's nowhere I belong. And anyone should tell me where will I find? 'Cause everywhere I go, I'm always on my own. Can anyone just catch me before I drown? Can anybody make me feel like I'm not the stranger tonight? Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another TW video for sure. This is the 04 War and we are, like I say, off the back of SummerSlam, and it's a pretty big week, particularly on Raw. We've got an Intercontinental title #1 contenders tournament, but also on Smackdown, the world title's on the line. If you are excited, make sure you drop a like on the video down below. If you were happy about what we did at SummerSlam, do that as well. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss a thing. Start with Raw. We've got to try and beat a world title match somehow. We've got this. We've got this. Monday Night Raw comes to you from Tennessee in the Bridgestone Arena. We kick off on the pre-show for a very good pre-show match, actually. 62 here, as Chavo Guerrero and Matt Morgan get a win over Scotty and Spike Dudley. Chavo Guerrero smacking out a 75. Cruiserweight champion no more. Maybe he's on to bigger and better things. 36 for Matt Morgan, 41 for Spike, 45 for Scotty. Chavo Guerrero, though. Whoa.
I mean, there's no surprise there, is there? He's Chavo.
There shouldn't be.
He's a Guerrero. But yeah, I mean, to get 62 again, I think that if you put that on the main show, that would have done pretty good.
Potentially. Also on the pre-show, a big win for Chris Masters. Well, kind of. Sorry, it's Funaki, so it's not that big of a win, but a squash win for Chris Masters, beating Funaki with the Master Lock. Not the full Nelson. It's the Master Lock.
I mean, all I say to that is a lot of Funaki fans are not going to be happy with you for saying,
he's the best announcer in the world, but he doesn't get a patch in the ring with the masterpiece himself. Funaki did outperform him, though. So he's just completely derailed your entire thing you just said. So it's fine. It's fine. We're building this young star up. It's absolutely fine. We're going to kick off the main television broadcast, though, with... Well, you'd actually open up with the music of Rey Mysterio, and Rey Mysterio would make his entrance, and the announcers would reveal brackets, because tonight is the start of an Intercontinental title #1 contenders tournament, and the winner will face John Cena for that championship at Unforgiven. We know it's Rey Mysterio, and we know his opponent too. It's Rey Mysterio versus Ric Flair. Talk about a big-time matchup. I can't remember a Flair Mysterio match ever. There's got to have been, surely, but...
no.
There might not have been, actually, because Mysterio was on SmackDown away from Flair quite a lot.
I mean, unless you don't... I was just about to say WCW, but then I just it'd be hilarious because they wouldn't do anything like that. But no, I don't think so. But maybe this is one of those...
Let's see what it does, right? It should be interesting. Opening of the IC title #1 contenders tournament, Rey versus Flair, opens the show with... 79. That's lower than it should be. Don't know why, actually. Rey Mysterio with a 90, by the way. The boy's ready.
I mean, as you said, he's the best wrestler in the world? Best
wrestler in the world. That's what he claims he is, and tonight he's beaten the man. The man himself. So.
Well, the old saying goes, doesn't it? To be the man, you must beat the man.
And Rey Mysterio does. Let's talk through, first of all, the performances. So, like I say, 90 for Flair, 90 for Mysterio, 83 for Flair. I wonder what's brought it down. We did ask them to try and steal the show. Maybe that was part of the problem, inconsistency. Lack of an associated storyline. I suppose this is the first match in a storyline that is now going to kick off here. We're using the first match to actually start the storyline, which isn't something you see often with wrestling, to be fair. Rey Mysterio does beat Flair. However, during the match, Rey Mysterio goes for a seated senton and his knee buckles, and that's going to become the story of that match. Rick is going to do his Ric Flair thing by working on the knee over and over and over again, but Flair is cocky and confident here at this point. Because he's got an injured knee. I'm Ric Flair. This is over whenever I want, basically. And at that moment, Flair's going to go in for the figure four. Rey Mysterio is going to counter, roll Flair up, catch him by surprise. 1, 2, 3. Rey Mysterio pulls one out and shocks Ric Flair. Basically.
I mean, to be fair, the ultimate underdog, isn't it? So
yeah,
it makes perfect sense.
Now,
yeah.
the injury is the main part of this story. Ric Flair was embarrassed. However, Rey Mysterio can hardly stand. So post-match, Ric Flair brutalises Rey Mysterio's leg. We talked earlier off-screen about Ric Flair using a steel chair, wrapping it, just destroying the leg with a steel chair. I've also got written down that Flair's probably going to do the figure four around the ring post. Hello, Bret Hart. It just makes a lot of sense. Ric Flair may have lost the match here. He may be at the tournament. But as far as he's concerned, so is Rey Mysterio, because Rey Mysterio may not compete again, as far as Flair's concerned.
I mean, I got to be honest, that the image you said with that Bret Hart spot, like, he's using, like, I like that. So, yeah. But, I mean, that's 79.8. That's a very solid start to the show.
Solid. I kind of expected better, but I'll take it. I start the storyline. It'll get better from here, you would hope. Where are we going after this? Let's go. Let's go to a bar, shall we? Because Goldberg is sat drowning his sorrow, so to speak. He's got shots laid out in front of him, and he's venting to the bartender, right, in his traditional sitcom way. And he's talking about the fact he lost big matches. He goes through some of the big matches, and he says at SummerSlam, where was I? I wasn't even there. And I said to Savage, why wasn't I there? And you know what? He's right. Why should I be there? I've lost this. I've lost this. And Goldberg shows a little bit of personality here, right? He's not just this mammoth monster that has no feelings. Goldberg cares, okay? # Goldberg cares, right? At this point, a very drunk civilion's not the right word, a very drunk, I don't know, an alcoholic in the bar, doesn't matter who it is, it's not the point, comes over and says, you know what, I am so fed up of hearing you all night talking about, I lost this, this. Look at you. You're Goldberg. You are a WWE superstar. You're probably, a millionaire? And you're going to complain about, I lost a match, when we have real problems. The bar fight will ensue. The drunken man is going to roll at Goldberg. So Goldberg is going to beat the hell out of him around the bar. And he's going to end up throwing him through the bar window out to the street. Okay?
Are we gonna get the classic sitcom of we actually have a camera outside and see him go for the window on the outside of the building?
Yeah, why not?
Because if you're gonna do a cliche bar fight segment that's very sitcom-y, gotta go all in, haven't you? But yeah,
we will find more about Goldberg's problems next week on Raw.
He has feelings, damn it. It's not the way Bill Goldberg cares, ladies and gentlemen. He cares.
# Goldberg cares. All right. The music of John Bradshaw Layfield's going to hit. We're going to have JBL come out to the ring, and he's going to cut a promo on last night. Last night at SummerSlam, JBL destroyed the boss. He beat the hell out of Vincent Kennedy McMahon. And JBL says, you know what that makes him now? The toughest man on Monday Night Raw. The most violent man. The king of violence. JBL says, there is one man that you don't want to fight on Monday Night Raw. There is one man that when you come to work on a Monday and you look at your call sheet and you pray you don't see that one name. Now that one name is John Bradshaw Layfield. Nobody is tougher than John Bradshaw Layfield. Now, who would have a problem with that? Gong. That's right. The Undertaker interrupts. He comes. Actually, we're gonna have him come walking down to build the tension. JBL's a bit like, forgot about you. Shit. What have I done? And Taker's gonna get to the ring. Taker's gonna enter the ring, take his hat off, do the eyes. The lights come on. JBL's gonna be like, no thanks, no thank you. Roll away and run away. But JBL says he's the toughest man on Raw. Taker says, let's prove it, shall we? 100 rated segment.
I mean, obviously that's all Taker, by the way.
Yeah.
Totally. He seems to be the benchmark of Raw when it comes to segments and the show. So, but yeah, good stuff.
It makes sense to put these two guys together now. And Yeah. Where I'm going with this is bonkers. You'll see. Okay, let's go.
Okay.
Let's go to break, come back from break, and Spanky is in the ring ready for his match against, well, we say match, his punishment against the ego squasher Samoa Joe. For a 51, Joe destroys Spanky. Wins with a muscle buster. 67 from Joe is the main thing here. Very good. Very good performance from him. And this is just a way to end the Joe and High Risk feud. High Risk will now go back off to the lower card. Sorry for anyone who likes that tag team. I like that tag team, to be fair. But when you got the star power that we've got on Raw, they are going to struggle to get through. So, Joe wins. Post-match, Shane McMahon gets on the mic and says that the rest of the Raw roster needs to be very, very careful because Joe isn't finished tonight. Joe will destroy one more ego tonight. Who's he going to be? Who knows?
Well, we'll just find out. But yeah, okay. Simple segment. Simple. That's the job.
Good promo from Shane as well. Shane being with Joe, he must be helping him. So 78, which is really good. Right, backstage. Well, Ric Flair in a lucha mask, by the way, because it's just big double fingers up to Rey Mysterio. And Batista are awaiting in the parking lot when a limo pulls up, and out comes a very celebratory WWE champion, Randy Orton. They celebrate the victory coming from last night. They come through the back into the ring where a party has been set up. There's a big box, there's a big cake, there's lots of cameramen around to make sure you get the right shots. And Orton's automatically comes out to the arena and feels a bit awkward. You can see him looking a bit unhappy, and we don't really know why at the start, but as the segment goes through and as Flair and Batista talk up Randy Orton as the youngest ever WWE champion, blah, 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 you get the point. Randy Orton is going to start getting a bit paranoid. He's going to be like, I just want to, and then he's going to destroy the cake. No one's in the cake, to Randy Orton's surprise.
He destroyed the cake.
I know, he destroys the cake. He's going to look at the very big box that definitely could fit a person in, and he's going to go, hang on one moment. He goes under the ring, and just because he can, grabs a sledgehammer.
Knew you were going to do that.
Destroys the box, but it is just a box, and in it was, I don't know, some present, I don't know, whatever you want to say, it doesn't matter. Destroys the box, no one in it. And Orton at this point is like, okay, maybe I can enjoy myself. And he looks, and he sees a cameraman who has his face sort of covered, has on what looks like a very fake mustache. So he RKOs the cameraman very quickly. Then he pulls the mask off, and you can see him looking and going, well, it's very convincing. He pulls at the mustache, and the mustache isn't coming off because here's the thing, it's a real mustache and it's a real bloody cameraman. And Orton eventually is pulled off by Flair and Batista, and Flair's like, look, focus, this is your night. And Orton's like, okay, cool, yeah, no, you're right, sorry, you're right, I'm being paranoid, you're right. They finish up the celebrations, they go up the ramp. Flair is going to turn to Orton and say, enjoy your crowd one last time, champ. Flair and Batista are going to walk to the back. Orton's going to turn, look around, hold up his WWE Championship, and then he's going to get nailed with the boot of Shawn Michaels with a sweet chin music who has come from the other side of the ramp, timed it perfectly, and surprised Randy Orton, which kind of feels right for a 100 rate segment. Good stuff. There was a lot to that. I did a lot of talking, but we got there in the end. We got there.
Yeah, I mean, I was just curious. Like, is the segment like it's a cut, like he just out of nowhere thing, or is it more like he's celebrating with the title and then the camera's got a close up and then he sees the crowd see him before Randy does, or was it
the crowd probably would see him, but the TV audience won't. It will be the TV audience is focused on Orton.
Okay,
the camera is on Orton's face, and all you see is a foot come into shot.
So literally would be like, was it literally, I want to pledge a sweet chin music out of nowhere.
Yeah, basically. Look, Shawn Michaels is playing mind games. Shawn Michaels saw the celebration was going to happen, and he could have jumped out of the cake. He could have been an undercover cameraman. He could have come out the box, but he knows that Orton would see that coming.
And I kind of like the way that it's kind of like he wants his title back, but he respects Orton enough that he wouldn't fall for those kind of tricks that I like.
And what this does establish straight away, as Randy Orton's first night as a world champion, he realises straight away that he will always be the hunted. The paranoia is there immediately. That will play in later down the line. 100, good stuff. Right, let's check in with another new champion. The Cruiserweight champion, Daniel Bryan, beats Maven for a 50. Maven sustained broken fingers. Daniel. Excuse me. What have you been up to there, Mr. Bryan?
All I say to that, you weren't actually supposed to break them, Daniel. You're supposed to hurt them, maybe bend them a little bit, but not literally break them. I mean, jeez. But when you think about it, actually that probably makes him look more of a badass because he literally broke some guy's fingers.
The match is a little low, but it is a cruiserweight match at this point. But Bryan putting in 71 is a really, really good performance. I was hoping it could carry it to about a 60. Arguably could have done, but the game's a bit harsh. 50 is fine. Bryan wins with a Dragon Suplex. Who, though, is going to step up? Will it be Chavo Guerrero after a rematch? No, Daniel Bryan is attacked post-match by Matt Hardy and Shannon Moore. Again for a 50. It's probably going to be the level of this feud, which is fine. It's going to keep Bryan going now. Look, Bryan's come in, had a big debut, got a win over Flair, got a huge win at SummerSlam over Chavo. Now we need to start establishing Daniel Bryan as the best goddamn wrestler he can be. So he's going to have opponents, he's going to have feuds that may be at this level, but he's going to put on good performances and hopefully good wins. Bryan has Matt Hardy as his first challenger. Kind of feels right.
Yeah, and I see the match being a really, very good match for him as well. So
it seems like good opponents for each other at this point. So that's good. That's good. 50, right. Where are we going now? Backstage, Randy Savage's office for an 80. Shawn Michaels is going to come in and say, listen, I know you're going to complain or ruin the celebration. Savage is like, no, I found it quite funny actually. It's cool. It's cool. Shawn's going to say, well, listen, as a former champion, in my contract, I get a rematch, and I want my rematch now. Savage is going to be like, no, I'm not going to give it you tonight. You're already booked in a match. It's going to be you and John Cena against Orton and Batista. But Unforgiven, Michaels, Orton, 2. We're going to do it again. Look, it's match of the year. He got a 99. We're going to hype it up as a, wow, what a classic that was. The announcers are going to talk about it like a classic match. So we're going to say, look, we're going to do it again. Pay-per-view, Orton, Michaels, 2, basically. So it kind of makes sense. And a big tag match for the main event. Happy days. Can't complain. We can't complain. Okay. IC title number 1 contenders tournament here. Who faces Rey Mysterio in the next round? Well, it's time for a giant versus an underdog because the Big Show defeats William Regal in a brawl match for an 82. Very good brawl. They had great chemistry. Come on, I love to see that.
I don't mind. I admit when I'm wrong. I thought it wouldn't work, but yeah, very good. I like it. But yeah, 82. I mean, it sounds right. So 70, is that 78 there? 78
from Regal, Big Show 90. Yeah. Big Show wins with a, says Chokeslam, we're actually going to go with a KO punch because it's a brawling type of match. And Stu's good idea, to be fair, I'm going to take it. Post-match, as Big Show is celebrating up the ramp with Jamie Noble, Regal's going to sort of come to him in the ring and he's got a big busted lip. He's got the tag team titles over his shoulder, but he does have a big busted lip. He's one-on-one with a Big Show tonight and he's felt it.
It just didn't feel right. You had a brawl type match, winning Regal against Big Show, and winning Regal's not coming out with at least some sort of bruising or some bleeding something. It didn't feel right. So, but
we got there. 82, good stuff. Backstage, Samoa Joe. Well, he's tamed another ego for a 75. He's attacked Kane. That's right. Samoa Joe beats the hell out of Kane backstage. Kane continues to fight at him because it's Kane. They have a good brawl, but eventually Samoa Joe with a poke of the eye, a low blow, and then he picks Samoa Joe up and hits a muscle buster off I don't know how to call it. Off a ledge type of thing, and he falls down. Kane does.
I mean, here's an idea for you. A loading bay.
Loading bay, that's what I'm thinking of. Something like that.
Yeah.
Muscle Buster. Joe lets go with him halfway through rather than going down with him. And Kane has been taken out by Samoa Joe. Kane versus Joe, I'm here for all of this.
I mean, all I'm saying is it's gonna get
violent.
It's in the best possible way. But yeah,
Samoa Joe is definitely my Umaga in this, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, Kane's a great opponent. It's good level, and if anyone can elevate Joe up to a higher stats, it's just by being in a feud with him, it's definitely Kane.
75 for this is very promising there. 75, very good. Evolution's locker room then for an 85, pretty good. Randy Orton has a gimmick getting stale, so we're going to have to tweak his gimmick a little bit, which is interesting. Basically what happens here is Orton and Batista are going to talk their game plan for the main event tonight. And Orton, being the champion, is going to try and take control of that conversation and act like the man, the boss, so to speak. And Batista's going to go, well, hang on a minute. Why are you leading this when, I mean, last week, I did beat you. You know, you may be champ and all, but I did beat you. And Orton is going to be like, well, it was by count out, and I let you win anyway. So I wanted to keep it. And they're going to argue. Flair is going to split it up, right, and calm them down and say, look, get on the same page tonight. Tonight you show why you are the champion and why you are all about evolution. Flair tries to calm it down. But Orton and Batista clearly have some tension after last week. It feels like if you do Orton and Batista like we did last week, you can't just then we never talk about it again. You kind of have to follow up on it a little.
Well, I mean, if I know how you book, there's no such thing as just one-off matches or no reasoning behind certain decisions.
There's a point to everything. There's a point to everything, basically. Mm-hmm. There's a point to this as well, because backstage, AJ Styles and Booker T for an 85. Jesus. Are fighting backstage. Randy Savage is going to come in with referees. They'll break it up, and Savage says, listen, you guys were supposed to be fighting one-on-one next week in the Intercontinental title #1 contenders tournament. However, you guys don't want to wait. Fine, let's not wait. Go out there right now. The match is next. Settle it in the ring. 85. That's really good segment, by the way. I know Savage and Booker are part of it, but I thought AJ would bring it down more than that, so I'm happy. Let's see what AJ and Booker do then. The winner goes through to the semi-final of the tournament. AJ and Booker get a 77. That's solid. That is very good. Booker, 81. He has been losing a little bit, so he has lost a bit of popularity. 70 for Styles is very good. And the winner is neither of them. We're going to do a draw. Now, yes, I know. Stop booing. Stop.
I am not saying a word because I know exactly what everyone's thinking with this one. But yeah.
Look, I get it. But this is the first match one-on-one between them in the feud. Okay, so we're going to try and continue AJ and Booker going forward. And these guys have a personal feud away from the Intercontinental title. We can use the tournament to further it, but these guys they hate each other so much right now that titles and matches don't mean anything. They just want to beat the hell out of each other. And that's what happened to the finish. Double count out as they fight to the back or fight through the crowd, whatever you want to say, doesn't really matter. These guys hate each other so much they cannot focus on their careers right now. So we're going to try and continue that. What that does mean, we've set up Big Show and Rey Mysterio for the semi-finals of the IC title #1 contenders tournament. The other side of that bracket, well, AJ and Booker T are now both out, which means that the winner of Chavo and Billy Kidman gets a bye to the final.
Don't you miss that in tournaments?
Kind of feels like it should happen, and there is a point to everything. We go to break, come back from break, and see the Intercontinental title. John Cena backstage, cutting a promo. He's asked about the tournament, and Cena says, look, whatever it's going to be is going to be. I have one saying in life. I will fight whoever wants to fight me. So quite simply put, see this Intercontinental title right here? And for the first time in the save, he's going to say this. If you want some, come get some. Cena is now sort of transferring away from I'm a rapper to no, I'm a fighter. I am the John Cena we know. We need to start the transition a little bit. So
Well, I mean, when did it start? Probably
around this time, to be fair. He probably started doing Come Get Some when he was US champion, right? So it's not a massive change, but this is going to start being part of his fighting champion gimmick.
Yeah, and also because it's the first time he's done it, it'll feel fresh.
Yeah. Okay, main event then. Cena teaming with Michaels against Orton and Batista for an 89. Pretty good main event. A little bit lower than I was hoping. I'm worried about what this show's going to be, actually, because of that. I was hoping it'd get 93.
I think because I've had main events with 89 before. I think it's a 92, 93, but you've had a couple of hundreds. We don't know, but anyway.
I don't know what's happened to Randy Orton here. He's putting in 80.
He's not. He hasn't got like a niggling injury there.
I don't know. Randy Orton last night against Shawn Michaels put in a 97, so we know he can do it. Today, penalised for poor use of his slowy, steady attitude. Penalised for holding back. Just an off night for Randy Orton tonight.
Well, to be fair, he's probably knackered from having one of the best matches of his life. And
it doesn't work like that. Shawn Michaels put in 93. It doesn't work like that.
Surely there's a storyline reason you could put that in why he's done it before.
I suppose. Look, Orton wins. Orton gets the RKO on John Cena. The WWE champion pins the Intercontinental champion because it's the most logical finish in the match. I don't really want Batista losing. You don't want to give away Orton and Michaels as a finish here. Cena's got nothing to do with the rest of them right now, so Cena losing makes sense.
Okay, just promise me you're not going to do anything.
No.
With good.
I don't think Cena loses anything by losing to the WWE champion.
No, I mean,
and like it also tells the story of Cena beat Orton for the IC title. Remember that. Randy Orton's now stepped up to another level, and Cena couldn't cope with it tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not. It's not really a finish. I just when I think I first heard the finish, I was like, oh, let's see, who's pinned the IC champion. It's like you're not going to go there, right? But I'm glad to hear you're not. So, but yeah, good.
Post match for a 100, good end. Orton is celebrating with the title. Batista and Flair at the top of the ramp. Orton is further down the ramp a little bit, but talking to a camera, and he's saying nobody on this Raw roster, on the Smackdown roster, on the EC. Sorry, what EC? Where am I? What am I doing? On the Raw roster, the Smackdown roster, nobody in this company can take this from me. And at that moment, he's going to have a look of realisation to be like, did Batista hear that? And he's just going to look behind him and realise Batista's way further up the ramp. He can't hear him, it's fine. And Orton's going to be like, yeah, no one can take this from me. Clearly, okay. Randy Orton is very paranoid that Batista one day may want to take it from him and probably could take it from him, basically.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's a bit early, but it's like he's listened to the voices in his head, so maybe that might turn aside.
The pressure of being world champion is getting to Orton on night one. The paranoia is there.
I can't even enjoy his first night as champion because he's so paranoid.
He's won, but he's still paranoid. On now Raw then, let's see. I'll take a 93 if I'm honest. I'm not sure. 93. Raw gets 93. I'll take it. That's a pretty good score then, actually, considering the main event was a little low. But like you say, we've got 3 100s in there. The matches tonight just weren't amazing. The matches tonight were, I suppose, all a little disappointing, if I'm honest.
And I think, as you would say, like, you know, we always talk about. I always thought with booking like this, you got to go all out every week. Sometimes some shows just can be really solid. Does the job, gets the storylines either started or moving along nicely. And yeah, was it both of the Intercontinental title matches were good. The main event, was good. Like, it was just good. Like, you know, it's like, and there's nothing wrong with it.
It was good without being great for a lot of the matches, which is absolutely fine. SmackDown. Well, I'll tell you now, SmackDown's got a world title match, so he may beat it, but we'll see. 93 is the bar. Let's see what happens.
That's fair. I mean, I've got a good feeling, but I don't want to be too cocky. Let's find out.
Friday Night SmackDown comes to you from the same place that Raw did, because those are the rules. Victoria beats Nydia. Nydia's got a gimmick that's getting stale. We can add her to the list. Let me add her to the list. Orton and Nydia both need a gimmick tweak. But yeah, Victoria gets a win. 46 for this isn't bad at all. Victoria 51.
Yeah,
that's getting better.
I mean, for Victoria, I've got to think. Obviously, when done the whole storyline with her, obviously with the whole coming back and all that stuff. But obviously, last month has been haven't done much, haven't got plans for it because obviously when you've got Trish versus Lita in a storyline, right? Everything's got to kind of take a back burner. But yeah, I think with 51, that's good. Maybe we've got to start build them up a little. Maybe I could do build them up more on the pre-show, build them up a bit more, and then see what I can come up with something interesting. But yeah, not good enough to be on the show, but thought that's not bad.
Arguably one act that may not even need it needs building up, but still in storyline does it. The World's Most Wanted get a victory over the Basham Brothers for again a 52. Two teams probably are quite a similar level right now, but obviously there's a lot more stock in this new gimmick of the World's Most Wanted.
Yeah, I've got an idea for it, but I haven't pulled the trigger on it just yet. But I think it's because obviously you've still got to build it up because it's got a cool idea and a cool concept, but they're still kind of, I don't want to say the word jobbers, but I mean at this point they're not as that lower level card. So, but yeah, and also the Bashams deserve to be punished for that terrible performance he done a couple of weeks ago. So, just saying.
Fair. Kicking off the main show then with the new World Heavyweight Champion Kurt Angle celebrating when he's interrupted by the former World Heavyweight Champion for a 100.
Yep, no surprise with that one, especially with how good Kurt's been since he's come back and Eddie Guerrero. But this one I don't want too complicated because obviously with Kurt Angle, I've put across the idea that his actions speak louder than his words. It's how many people during this run is he's broken ankles, injured people. Proper intense, I think he made so many people tap out to the ankle lock. That's become one of the most devastating moves in wrestling, and that kind of stuff. But I like the idea of Kurt coming out saying, "I told you I'll beat Eddie, and I'd done it without breaking a sweat." Type situation, and as I promised, this is a new era for SmackDown, where we're gonna make SmackDown the pinnacle of excellence that it was before Eddie Guerrero was champion type thing. Mm-hmm. And then obviously everyone's booing because obviously everyone loves Eddie, and I like and then after this obviously Eddie just here's enough of this, and he's like typical humble heel face former champion. He's like, yeah, you beat me, yes, and I did tap out, but you forget. I think I like the idea of this, like he says that, but then it's like, okay, so oh yeah, the WrestleMania match didn't happen in this reality, did it?
No.
So I like the idea. It's like maybe do this then. It's about Eddie's like, okay, yeah, you did beat me, but I bet you can't beat me again. Mm. And obviously, I like the idea. Eddie's trying to play on Kurt's like kind of
insecurities.
Yeah, insecurities, or kind of play on the idea saying, yeah, I mean, anyone can win one match in one night. But, and obviously, to prove you're a true champion, and you have to see if you can defend that title week in, week out, and kind of play on the idea that Kurt's like, Kurt thinks he is the world champion, and he obviously is, but I like the idea of Eddie trying to play on that, going, like, you're not until you beat me if you face me again, and kind of goats him into accepting it.
And of course, that's a big main event. That is a big main event.
Yeah, I've gone. I know what you're saying.
He's gone big tonight. Eddie Kurt, World Heavyweight Championship. 100 rated start to the show. Let's see what they can do in the main event. Right, let's go to in-ring content though. Edge and Charlie Haas for a 69.
That's not. I'm not. To be fair, I wasn't having high hopes for this one anyway.
Charlie Haas really brings it down because Edge actually does put in an 85.
To be fair, I think it's because I really wanted to try and maybe not. Obviously, I've got more. Going to do more with Shelter Benjamin, right? But like, I feel like I think I saw like 70 in that. He's got. If I just build him up a little bit more, he could be a very good kind of wrestler to go against. Someone like give that a month. If I can build him right, give that a month. That match would get a better score if I book it right. But yeah, I wasn't expecting anything. I just thought, put Edge, go get Shelter, see what happens. And it's not like maybe I would have been like maybe a 70 would have been good. But it's close enough. It's not. It says there it's a good match. It's what you expect, and it's a good match to open the show in ring competition. I like it. So, but yeah, I think this one, I think the way I wanted to finish it was basically like Shelton tries to get involved in the match, distracts the ref. We could do the whole, throws him like brass knucks without the ref seeing or something like that. Tries to hit Edge with it. He ducks, hits a spear out of nowhere. Like, turns around, boom, hits a spear on Charlie Haas. Ref gets the pin, 1, 2, 3. And, Edge gets the Edge as much as all the shenanigans, Edge gets the win. But, yeah, I don't know how to feel. So I think I tried it, see what happens. And I wish it a little bit better, but it's not far off where I think it might have been anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of expected it a bit better, but I probably overestimated Charlie Haas. I just want to point something out, by the way. Kind of off topic, but I'm telling you now. I saw something the other day of someone describing a spear, and I can't get it out of my head now, right?
Yeah.
They don't call it a spear. It's a running hug.
A running hug?
I can't get it out of my head now. A spear is a running hug.
I mean, the way it is, but
a gore's not, for the record. A gore is a running kill.
It's a very devastating move, but well, anyway. But so
sorry, 69. Let's see what happens going forward, because post match, World's Greatest Tag Team, double team Edge, but Rikishi ain't having it, son.
Yeah, this one. Yeah, I think this is the kind of thing I want to set up in a situation of Edge is obviously the numbers advantage is going to be always a problem when the World Greatest Tag Team, because obviously tag team versus one guy. But yeah, so simple after this match, obviously the Shelton Benjamin's furious, and obviously the World's Greatest Tag Team furious. What happens after the match? And obviously a 2-1 beat down, and obviously Rikishi comes down for the save. But I just think the idea of like possibly Edge, Rikishi possibly teaming together against them, that's not a bad looking tag team, is it? And it's something different, and I don't know. But I don't know. I just like the idea of Edge, Rikishi, because Edge at the moment is like the numbers game has been against him in this entire feud since day one, and I like the idea that finally maybe the numbers are even, possibly.
Well, we'll see. Backstage, the new women's champion Lita is interrupted by Gail Kim, who wants a one-on-one shot, and she wants it tonight.
Yep. Seems to be, I was like, oh, you know what? We could just have one title match. Could have one. We could just have one. I'm like, no, we need two. We need 2 title matches. But just
Grande size it.
Yeah, very much. Basically, I like the idea of Lita's like kind of backstage celebrating. She's got the win championship. She got a back title. She's desperate to get back. She wants it back. I like the idea. Gail kind of want the idea that she's getting closer and closer and closer to winning that title. She was so close in the triple threat at SummerSlam. She was like really close to it, but to winning it. But it just wasn't. There's something missing. But she still. I like the idea. She goes up to Lita and says, "I know." Like she still believes she can beat her. If you know what I mean. Still believes it. And obviously with Lita being like, okay, well, I like the idea of like maybe Lita's looked at Trish and gone, I like what she's doing with the women's title. Well, what she did, she respects Trish, as we that kind of stuff. And she's like, you know what? Yeah, I want, I like your attitude and that kind of stuff, and just gives. Normally when a person demands a title match. Normally, they usually go, you can't demand a title match. But I just like the idea of just like, Gail Kim's like, I know I can beat you. And it's like, you know what? Yeah. Face me in the ring, prove it type thing. Just simple storyline there, but sets up a title match. And I think I think that match might surprise some people, hopefully, in this show. So, yeah, that's pretty much
find out later tonight. Should be pretty good. Also, vying for titles, the Dudley Boys and Billy and Chuck, they both want a shot at Hardcore Holly and Rhino.
Yeah, I don't know if so basically this is a situation of it's just a simple backstage segment. Obviously we put a situation of Dudley's there, Billy and Chuck. We put La Resistance and obviously the champs are there. But I just want a backstage thing where basically champs are backstage and basically all these teams are vying for the titles type thing where, it's like, the Dudleys are like, well, we know we can beat you, so we should get the next shot. And obviously you've got La Resistance saying, well, we haven't had title. Maybe the people want new teams to face face each other type thing. So they're involved, and then Billy and Chuck are, well, we kind of teased it in the go home show that they want the title shot as well. So I think that's just what I want to kind of do, that kind of stuff, and all like vying.
The tag team division is thriving, basically, is the point. And
all thanks to Mick Foley.
All thanks to Mick Foley. Right, 8-man tag time. Bubba, Devon, Billy, and Chuck versus La Resistance and the champs for a 55.
That's actually not bad.
I mean, La Resistance are in there. And Billy and Chuck are really low, actually. Like, Rene Dupree outperformed both of them.
I was expecting it to be worse than it was, actually, because I knew this wouldn't be... I know we don't do these kind of matches, so I like the idea to, try out. But I don't know, I've never done I've done an 8-man tag with 2 tag teams in it. I thought I'll give it a shot, but I mean, that's fine. I mean, it's not the worst, but it's not the best either, so I gotta admit. But it's all worth it for the finish that I plan. That's really horrible, but I couldn't help myself.
Remember that Billy Gunn has broken ribs. Remember that.
I guess, as I said, I've put on my notes that I think I'm assuming you found quite funny.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what I put on my notes, but yeah, I always put this as a pretty simple match. But basically, the finish is I've put gore. Yes, Rhino spears poor Billy Gunn. Not 3 times, but just once. Just wanted to say gore because it sounds cool. So it's basically Rhino gores Billy Gunn. Obviously, he's got broken ribs. I'm a nice guy, apparently. Not really. But in my notes, I literally put, I'm a bad boss because he's injured. So I really am. If he's got broken ribs, I'm letting him take the most devastating... I'm not going to even say spear.
It's a gore. It's a running kill to the ribs. Unbelievable.
But are you telling me you wouldn't?
Yeah, it's Billy Gunn. He deserves it. So there was a post-match segment here, which I don't think we included, probably because of time and stuff. So it worked out, where the heels beat down the faces. Yeah,
pretty much. Obviously, because obviously the heels get a win, and obviously then and then it's just afterwards they take advantage of they got the win and keeps beating down. And both the heels stand tall, kind of teasing that maybe. Maybe they're the ones that face each other. They maybe could do so that they stand tall, but maybe I can change it up by saying that then Lance, the Resistance, celebrate they turn on each other, and stare down, saying, we took them out tonight, but again, they want the shots of the title type thing.
You could do the simple, they took them out, but La Resistance pick up the tag championships to give to the School of Hard Knocks just to have a hold of them.
Yeah, that works too. I mean, I want this to be a whole situation where the School of Hard Knocks are feeling uneasy. You're confident but uneasy. Because they won the titles, and it's like I want it to be a situation they've got all these people gunning after them.
It's similar to what we were saying with Randy Orton earlier in the video. They are the hunted, and they are feeling like the hunted. Okay, backstage, the king of the promos, Christian, cuts a promo on Kurt and Eddie because he wants the winner. He feels like he should have the winner. He wants a world title shot. Yeah,
I mean, I haven't put him in a title shot, not for a while anyway. But there's been a reason, there's been method to that madness type thing. But with this thing, it was just situation like the idea basically he's won the match and he's sitting, obviously won the last man standing at some time. He's like, I won that match, and the first person to go after Kurt is Eddie Guerrero. It's like, exactly. Did anyone see what I did to Chris Jericho? Did anyone watch that? Because I think it was the best match. Was it this was the best Smackdown match of the night, if I remember? Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, but so that's the situation. I stole the show, and Eddie gets a loser gets another shot. So I like the idea of that, sitting there going, by the end of the night, people will remember the name Christian. So it's maybe that's a signal intent. He might get involved, he might not, maybe. But basically, Christian's won a big match at SummerSlam, and he feels that he deserves the next shot at the world champion.
Well, he may just make his impact felt later on. We'll see. 87. The New Year's champion, Lance Storm, he's having a champion's address, but that scumbag Scott Steiner had to rule it, didn't he? I was here for Lance Storm.
Yep, and then I have to. I always feel I use Scott Steiner as kind of like either to just to make you kind of happy in a way, because 9 times out of 10 he usually loses, by the way. But maybe it might be different tonight. But this I don't know. It's just I like the idea. It's basically like that Storm talks about. He's literally talking about how amazing it is to win the how much it means to him to win the US Championship, how all the work, all the grind, everything he's done this past year to get to this point, to win this title, and he's going to defend this with respect and honor, and he's going to make sure that this is the top title type thing, proper face talk, proper, like, make it into a workhorse title as US title should be in a way. Well, that's what I feel anyway. But then obviously just that kind of stuff, and then Scott Steiner comes out. Kind of backing up his teammate type thing. That's what I'm trying to go for. Backing up, because obviously I don't think if I remember, like, Lance Storm did pin RVD to get to US title. He didn't pin Mark Henry. No. So like I like the idea of Scott Steiner's defending his friend. Like, yeah, you won, but you didn't beat Mark Henry. You didn't pin him. And if you had any integrity or honor, you would face him for the US title. But I just like the idea that I know, like Scott Steiner goes, I know that you can't beat Mark Henry, and I know for a fact that you can't beat me. And obviously Lance Storm, like, or do a situation where, like, and I know, and you talk tough, you think you're a tough guy, but you're not. That kind of stuff. And then maybe do a situation where, like, Scott Steiner slaps him in the face to kind of ramp it up. And then obviously Lance Storm takes exception to that. They fight, get people to separate them, and then we go to commercial break, and then the match is set.
The match is next. It is not for the United States Championship, but it's Storm and Steiner for the 73. That's very good.
Yeah, that's exactly where we thought it would be, to be fair. But yes, exactly what it says there, super kick there. The way I've kind of wanted to finish it was a situation of, like, we got Scott Steiner doing the, like trying to go for a gorilla press slam, and he like drops it into like a power, power slam.
Yeah.
But I like the idea of trying to do that, and then that was it. Lance Storm find a way out of it, and then Scott Steiner, just when he turns around, boom, hits the super kick, 1, 2, 3, and gets the win. But I guess obviously, as always with most of these stuff, it's always about what happens next.
76, Mark Henry attacks the United States champion. Storm needs a gimmick tweak as well.
That's fine. I think as US champion, it probably would be a good idea, because all the stuff is building up to that win.
Yeah.
Maybe tweaking it a little bit. That's fine. That's not as put it on that apparently growing list.
Yeah.
We're growing at the moment. But this one, I kind of like it. Mark Henry's like, we all thought, like, Scott Steiner did come down to the ring by himself, because you would think his pal, his buddy, his friend would be with him, right? But what he doesn't, basically this whole thing was a plan. It was all a trap to go Lance Storm into having a match against Scott Steiner. Obviously, he believes Scott Steiner will win, but he had a fit, he does, Lance Storm, he had a plan if Lance Storm won or lost. But I like the idea that basically it was all part to make sure he was in the ring at the right place at the right time, so Mark Henry can come from behind and attack him and get the advantage. And that's it there and say, he brings up, hits the one world's strongest slam, picks up the US title, holds it up in the air, and kind of say that you're basically on borrowed time, because you shouldn't be US champion, I should be US champion, and kind of end it with that kind of segment and visual storytelling type thing. But I think this is a logical conclusion from what we set up at SummerSlam. So I like it.
I think it should be very interesting going forward. Henry's power versus Lance Storm's incredible charisma that's come from nowhere. Let's see what happens. Talking about charisma, the former women's world champion Trish Stratus. Well, she's made it very clear. She is the solo Sikoa. She wants next.
Yeah, pretty much. I guess there's a reason for that one, but I'm not going to get to that. But this one was just simple. Again, you seem to be my thing recently. It's like just very simple story with him. But if it works, it works. Trish obviously lost the title. Obviously, she's disappointed that she lost, because obviously we saw at SummerSlam she was respectful that Lita won, but she was very frustrated that she lost. So this kind of situation, obviously heard there's a title match on tonight, and she just kind of gives the warning out there to Lita and possibly Gail Kim if she wins late tonight, that she'll be watching, and and just a bit of warning that she wants her title back sooner rather than later. So yeah, simple setup there. So sets up for the women's title match quite nicely, I think.
Indeed. Who is going to walk out your women's champion? Will it be Lita? Will it be Gail Kim? Your winner, Stu.
And still your WWE Women's Champion, Lita, for a 64. Yeah, that feels right. I obviously would love to a bit more, but again, Lita's, I think she'll get better, obviously, as being champion, and because now we're actually going to properly push her as much. And obviously, Gail Kim is getting there. I mean, if I look at the score, she's done really well for where she was at the start of the save. But the idea that she's similar on the same level as Lita, in a way, fits the storyline I'm trying to go for. That she's close,
but she's really close. Not quite. Yeah, I like that. She's getting there. Not quite. Lita gets the win there.
Yeah. So this one, what's the one? Kind of, this is a kind of spot that kind of leads into the kind of finish. The idea I want to do is like a spot with Gail Kim. It's about to get, the spot where she hits the finisher or something. She gets the pin. 1, 2, and then the ref stops and it's like, why the stop? And then you see the foot's on the bottom rope type thing. I mean, they do that a bit too much in wrestling these days, but I like the idea of that because again, it just shows that she hit a finisher. She had a beat, but foot was on the bottom rope. It's just, and it's like she's devastated by it. But because of this frustration, this is out of frustration. She basically tries to go for a finisher again, but then or tries to do something. I don't know. Let's say take a turnbuckle off or something on the top, that kind of stuff. She's really getting frustrated at this point. Not, she needs to. What does she have to do? Because of this, she makes a mistake. You've got Lita comes back, hits Twist of Fate. 1, 2, 3. And it's still your champion. Still your champion,
but there is another one waiting in the wings. The former champion, Trish, comes to the stage for 78.
Yep, that's no surprise for the two best women's wrestlers of this era, by far, by none. But this one, again, I know I keep saying visual storytelling, it's pretty simple. She's won the title, holding up high, turns around, top of the stage, guess who's there? Trish Stratus sitting there or standing there, basically kind of giving the look or giving the kind of signal that she won tonight, but there's going to be a rematch in the future.
There definitely will. 78. Right, we're nearly ready for a big main event. Let's check in with the world champion. Kurt Angle cut a promo on Eddie for an 86. Just similar to what you'd expect. He's going to end Eddie Guerrero tonight, Stu.
Yeah, I mean, I just like the idea of Let's put in a situation that the words that Eddie said to Kurt, that not really got to him, but it's made him more. I mean, if he was just a one match without those words, he would have just been like, I could beat him. But now, because of what he said, it's given him extra motivation to not just beat him. He wants to end him. Like, literally, this literally gives out, like, to the fans, like, obviously, record it. Put it in your VCR. Basically, this is going to be the last time you're going to see Eddie Guerrero in a WWE. And basically, like, situation of, like, Kurt's... Maybe last line was a bit too much, obviously what happened, but, like, Kurt... I just like the idea that Kurt's, like, extra motivation.
Yeah. Eddie's words have got to Kurt in his mind, giving him the motivation, like you say. But Eddie thinks it's time to win the title back. 80 for his promo, not quite as good. Look, we don't need to go into it too much. They're quite simple backstage promos to hype the main event. The main event, though, Eddie and Kurt for the World Heavyweight Championship. The show kind of depends on it. I don't think you've got a show that's beating my show without a great main event here.
Yeah, I know, but I got to be honest. I don't know how this game sometimes works, because I think in theory it should, be a show where it's basically like similar level to what they had at SummerSlam. But then I've had this game, like, I don't get this game, so I'm really nervous about this. Yeah. But
It's hard to call. It is hard to call. He got a 94 at SummerSlam. Eddie and Kurt, world title on the line. Your winner, Stu.
And still world heavyweight champion for...
It's hard to call.
I think... I don't know.
Anyway, I mean, Kurt retains his title, winning with the ankle lock.
You've got
angle slam, but ankle lock, it's fine.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, probably ankle lock makes sense when I think about it, because obviously he's been using that move, like, really been pushing that as being like a, when he's got that locked in, you're not getting out, type thing. But yeah, I mean, to be fair, that makes sense. I mean, if you just had when you think about from just like human beings, if you just had an epic match, great match you had at SummerSlam, and then to do it all again on the next on the.
It's rare they hit the same level, isn't it?
Yeah, but to be fair, to get an 87 when you've got a 93, still a high level, it just shows how amazing Kurt Angle is, how Eddie Guerrero is as well, and just But I've kind of expected that kind of level anyway. But anyways, when the match, you don't describe it, you can imagine it in your mind, right? It's just to be an epic encounter, wouldn't it? Back and forth. But okay, I want to do this box. I just love doing it. It's basically the ref somehow gets taken down, the usual spot, like, it's like tries to do a move and accidentally hits the ref type thing. And obviously it's Eddie Guerrero, so you know what he's going to try and do, isn't he? He's going to try and
cheat and steal his way to the world title.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm finished. I put it's just he tries to go to the top, but now when I think about it on the fly, I like the idea of like he goes to get the world title, and he hits it. He hits, like, what about he actually does hit him, like hits Kurt.
Yeah.
And he's like, it's like he's down. But then because Eddie wants to prove a point to show that this is going to be a flash in the pan title reign. He thinks, you know what, he's out, so I'm gonna put an explanation point. I'm gonna go to the top. He's gonna try and go for a frog splash just to really put icing on the cake to the victory type thing. And then, he's just about to, and then all of a sudden he turns around and he sees Christian walking, coming down to the ring, and obviously he's like, going, "What are you doing here?" And he's sitting there just the usual heel. I'm just here to observe. I'm not here or anything. And then he turns around and then he tries to go for the frog splash, just about to, and then Christian goes to the apron, pushes him off from the top rope. And obviously Eddie is kind of out, or he's kind of been taken top, and then Kurt's kind of, you know how this is going to work, isn't it? Kurt kind of comes back up, from being dazed and everything. The ref mysteriously wakes up at the perfect moment. It's how it works in wrestling, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I mean, I ankle lock. Now when I think about it, I like the idea. It's like he just wins, like maybe just like, he crawls, and he just puts his arm across the chest and gets the 1, 2, 3. So like Kurt wins, but then he didn't beat him without any help, and obviously Christian attacking Eddie Guerrero. Maybe might save something.
87. But what's next for Kurt? Well, there's only one man that's next for Kurt, and he is one of a kind for an 83.
Yeah, I mean, I have to admit, I'm looking like the match haven't done it. I think that's what I like about it, but again, might not. But it's not where I want to go for this segment. Kind of what I'm trying to segment is the idea that, Kurt's happy, like, he gets out of days, like he's dazed, obviously got hit by the title. He's walking up the ramp, and he's, at the top of the stage, the kind of stuff, and he's celebrating, and then again he turns around and you got RVD, obviously Stone Cold Steve Austin is there, obviously, but probably should have put him in the segment, to be fair.
Yeah,
I know, done that on purpose, didn't you? I knew you did.
Yeah, that's it. That's what I did. Yeah.
Totally. It's all part of the plan. But I don't know. I just think it's like put more of a signal to kind of like to Kurt, like, now, he's been talking about being the guy that's at the top. Now he is the guy at the top, and everyone's going for him. And obviously RVD lost his US title, and he's still hungry for gold. Why not go after Kurt? Maybe.
Why not? It should be a good match. I don't know. I don't think you've done it. I don't think you've done it. 93 to be.
I've got a feeling it's going to be
91.
I'm going to say 80.
Because you did get 100.
I'm going to be. I'm going to say 80. I got a feeling 87, just because I think that may have been maybe a 90, maybe 91.
Maybe.
I'm going to go that. Let's find out.
Smackdown gets a 91. Okay, so we called it then. Monday Night Raw wins week 1. Look, the main event needed to be as classic. We said that. The rest of the show was probably about what you'd expect for what you've booked.
I think it's, again, we've figured out for obviously your Raw is that we're not obviously similar in a sense, but we're both kind of done like yeah, I haven't got the big name matches, big names, and kind of like tried it. So again, we've done exactly what I thought what we should do. It's like SummerSlam was a reset, so we're trying to build up again in a way. But yeah, I mean, I was hoping that main event, but it was a bit of a shot in the dark in a way.
It's still a very good match. It's still a good show. Unfortunately, not quite at the Raw level this week. I'm sure next week though, you'll be coming back even harder. I mean, we beat the world title match. We did it. Come on, boys. Monday Night Raw for the win. 2 very good shows, once again. 2 very good shows. We put on a slightly better show. I was slightly disappointed with the main event, but the actual main makeup of the show was better than his, which is probably what edged it in the end. There wasn't a lot in it. But we'll take the 1-0 lead, going towards Unforgiven. You can see a lot of what we're trying to set up. I hope you're excited about it. If you are, drop a like down below, and we will see you next Monday. TW next Monday, AW Wednesdays. We're getting a new routine going. You'll love it. You'll love to see it. Until next time, peace.